Cup. Brought to you by the Nickel Plate. Sit, sip, savor, and shop.
8 o'clock on the start of a Thursday. Good morning to you. So glad you're with us for Second Cup. Listen, we are one day closer to the weekend. Are you ready for it?
I am.
Bam, now, whew. Bam, now.
Taylor Swift. Get your morning going.
Knew he was a killer. First time that I saw him.
Anyways. Oh.
Don't forget, Second Cup is sponsored by the Nickel Plate. And if you haven't gotten your cuppy mug yet, they're still available at the Nickel Plate on Clinton. Stop in, let them know that you are indeed
a cuppy
and that you would like one of these free mugs. Look at how cute they are.
And then take a picture and send it to us.
We want to see you and your cuppy love. Super cool, isn't that? Lauren liked my singing.
Peter says, Adam Campos is watching us. Hi,
Adam Campos. Isn't
Hope
it like
you're doing well.
5 o'clock in the morning in San Diego?
Keeping that morning show schedule.
Jeez Louise. Holy
Hi,
cow.
Adam. Hi, honey. Hope you're doing well.
Hello, Aunt Cheryl. Am I in a good mood? I mean, I'm just in a mood. Not good, not bad, just living.
Typical mood.
Livin. Glad you're with us, Adam. Hope all is well. He's back on the morning show in San Diego. San Diego. Spanish for San Diego. Listen.
Oh, my God.
Can you believe it's back to school season?
Well, I'll tell you why I can, because yesterday I was over at Westside Community Services. If you're watching the show today, they were doing this backpack giveaway. They're doing it tonight. So if you have a kid and you want to get a little head start on stuff, they're doing free backpacks and they come full of stuff. So there's like, I told that it's like a trapper keeper for like lack of a better phrase. Maybe they don't call them trapper keepers
Right. No,
anymore.
This is not the 80s anymore.
That's what I call them.
You.
Okay. 80s. Try 90s. Thank you. But so they have a trapper keeper full of notebooks, folders. There's pens, pencils, crayons, highlighters, a water bottle, like, and then cute stuff too. Like, you know, like that fun stuff the kids would really like. There's a special glue, there's tape. So you do have to bring a student with you in order to get a backpack.
Okay, so what are the times? What are the dates?
5 to 7 tonight at Westside Community Services. They're also holding a number of other different things. It's all in conjunction with Independent Health. I just want to double check. There's a whole list of all these events. I want to double check they're doing backpack giveaways at all of them. And then I'm going to post this web story. I got to make a phone call quick. But there's going to be a number of different places you can pick this stuff up.
Okay, so we'll post a link for you on WKBW.com.
How much parents spend?
Almost $1,000.
$875 on average for back to school. Does that sound right to you guys?
That's insane.
I get it with the electronics, and that was a cost that we really didn't have.
Well, like, okay, can I ask you a question? If you've got a student in school right now, what kind of electronics are you actually buying for them? Because I don't think you have to buy that laptop for them.
You might not have to, but like, do they always bring it home if they need to write a paper? Like, you need a computer at home.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure, I can't imagine that you wouldn't be allowed to bring that home. Or like your iPad or your tablet or something.
Well, you need something to write your papers and do your research and stuff. And then.
Yeah, exactly, Sarah. I guess if you add in clothes and shoes.
So yeah, the electronics was like $300. Clothes and shoes was $425.
Wow. Okay, so look at this. Melly says that's lowballing for some. As my son's clothes and sneakers, he's got a uniform, always cost more. Oh, okay. So Melly says they cannot bring their computers home anymore. Okay, so I have a question then. Okay, if they have to do virtual learning, what do they do? Like we saw this happen 2 years ago. And say there's a snow day and they're like, okay, we're not going to have a snow day. You're going to be remote learning. What do you do?
Barb, I'm laughing at your comment. No one handwrites a paper anymore. Barb, we didn't handwrite papers. I mean, when I was in high school, we didn't handwrite papers.
Right.
You typed it. Now, listen, I'm not saying we did anything fancy. We were like in Microsoft Word typing them out and stuff.
A word processor.
Yeah, some word processing thing. But yeah, no, you got to type this stuff out these days.
Okay, Kathy, I have younger kiddos. We only have the parents send in very few wipes, pencils, glue sticks, scissors, a folder, crayons, markers. Do you have a school list? Have you gotten your supply list yet? And what is the craziest thing that you've found on that supply list? Like, is there something that is just so like outlandish that you're like, why does my kid need this?
Yeah, some people, we've done this over the years, right? We've asked about it and people have had a hard time finding like this color folder, this color notebook, or like, I need this glue stick in particular. So if there's something that stands out, let us know. Maybe we can crowdsource a little and help you find it.
Jeanette says our students could bring home their Chromebooks during COVID or any virtual learning. Okay, that's what I was kind of getting at.
Yeah.
Melly, good question, but COVID caused money loss and a lot of the units got broken or stolen.
Look what Peter says, and we were talking about this today. Don't forget the math classes in high school with the graphing calculator. We were talking about that TI-83 today.
Exactly. Cindy says the clothes are where they get you. The Talbots and Ralph Lauren.
Well,
I mean, are you shopping for your kids there at Talbots and Ralph Lauren?
Sneakers are expensive.
Yes, no doubt.
And I've heard at some schools that they like you to have a pair of sneakers for school, like to keep in school.
Mhm.
Tell me if you've heard this too. So then you're kind of like buying 2 pairs of sneakers. It's like keep your gym sneakers in school.
Right, that's smart.
It is smart, but it's also more expensive.
Well, okay, so on the computer aspect, I think that's kind of interesting that they're not allowed to bring it home. I mean, I guess I understand the fact that things are getting broken, things are getting stolen, things are getting lost. But on the other hand, I really question the kids who genuinely come from a low-income environment. What are they to do if they don't have this kind of equipment at home? I wonder what the solution is.
The library always exists.
Sure.
My mom being a librarian, there were times like when we were kids, we would go to the library and do our homework, right? Because she was there, she was working, so I'd like get on the computer and be like writing my paper.
Kathy,
that's there as a resource.
No, that's a great idea. And I feel like there are some other resources, like especially in like downtown Buffalo.
I also bet that the schools have like computer lab hours and stuff like that too.
Sure.
Like I bet there's times you can use the computer at school.
Kathy, just weighing back in, we do have that list. If some families can't afford it, we have extra supplies on hand, they can get them. That's great.
Yeah.
Jeanette, when we went back, it was hard because they talked about the school Chromebooks and laptops as being theirs. Don't touch my blue laptop card. We had to really crack down on when there was a time to use them too. Interesting. Tammy, hello. How about haircuts? And okay, I'm obsessed with like Gen Z haircuts right now. You've got like the really messy curly look with everything's like forward. You've also got like that urban mullet is what they're calling it.
Oh my God.
I love that. I think it's so funny.
The urban mullet. And the girls' hair too. I mean, it's expensive to get it done. Like even if your hair's long, like sometimes it goes like a little color in it. They like to do whatever, it's not cheap.
Danielle says West Seneca School District brings their Chromebooks home every night throughout the year. And as a matter of fact, they bring them home every summer as well.
That's a good idea.
Sarah, but to Ed's point, it's got to be harder for those low income families.
Yeah, for sure.
That's kind of my thought. I wonder how they work through that.
Yeah.
Lauren, I try to donate money to my friends and family's classrooms so they have extra stuff on hand. And Melly says, my son finally got his haircut yesterday. His hair is so thick.
Yeah.
So Melly, you know what I'm talking about though, right? Like the messy curls in the front.
I really have liked the videos where they compare the like haircuts of teens like these days that he's talking about with like grandma's haircut. Because it looks like the same haircut, Yeah. It's so funny.
Melly says, I love a nice clean cut.
Me too, Melly.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm with you.
Wow, listen to this. Howard's granddaughter had a Chromebook in pre-K this year. I could not believe it. Look, I mean, here's the situation, and I think this is genuinely what the future looks like. Younger kids are going to be learning about more than just computers the way we did when we were young, like using those old Macs. Do you remember that? Playing Oregon Trail on the Mac. But these kids are going to be learning about coding. They're going to be learning about computer engineering, software engineering, AI.
These jobs didn't exist.
Right.
This wasn't a thing years ago. And now like we need people to go into these careers.
And so, these kids are also going to be the ones who are the future money makers. They're going to be the revolution that we see in this country because they are so advanced compared to like even us in our mid to late 30s who are kind of, I think, almost behind the curve.
Oh, well, a little bit and stuff like that, but it's not really, it's just when we grew up.
Right.
Okay, question for the parents who are doing this back to school shopping. What stores are in for kids these days? Like, where do your kids like to get like their clothes? Now, let's be real. We talked about this before. When we were growing up, there were some really hot stores, right? But
we'll talk about that in a second.
I know, but they were expensive.
Yes.
And so I think you have to make the choices like maybe I get one of these items that I really, really like from this store, or I save up my money and get that. But like, you can't do all your shopping from these really expensive stores.
No. And I was such a brat.
We know.
In high school. And
your mom is here often. She lets us talk.
Well, and so, okay, so Melly likes Target. She says it's cheaper and better quality.
I like Old Navy too.
Old Navy was great.
For the basic stuff that you need. Like, because let's be real, kids they like layering these days. want a basic t-shirt, you want some basic jeans, pants, get that stuff at Old Navy.
Kelly says online. So I was such a
online.
brat. And this is like typical Long Island of me. And I often reflect about how I look down upon people because like that just isn't who I am anymore. Do you know what I mean? And I think it takes you a little while to get out of your like holier than thou kind of mentality as a Long Islander. And once you leave Long Island, you kind of see like, okay, people really do have it a lot worse than you do. And you should be really grateful for what you have. Like I was going to say Marshalls, TJ Maxx.
Oh my God, I love Marshalls.
I do too. But like, I would have been like, oh, I'm never getting clothes from Marshalls or I'm never going there.
We never went there when we were growing up, but I think it was because my mom wasn't a big shopper. Do you know what I mean? She like, so, oh my God, I would go to Old Navy. Jan, oh my God, I know. Jan, I feel for you, like still to this day. But I saw Lauren was saying, okay, I knew my mom would say something about this. Lauren said they went to the Bon-Ton. My mom says she misses Bon, and boy, did she love that store. They would do coupons plus sales. She'd come back and she'd go, they're giving this stuff away.
Lori says Old Navy has great sales. Speaking of the Bon-Ton, I love Ross. I used to love Ross. That's where I get all my ties at TJ Maxx. When I was in Harrisonburg, couldn't afford anything. I was making $30,000 at most. I went to Ross all the time.
Marshalls is like such a great place to pick up dresses. The Gap too. That was always a classic.
I love the Gap.
And their clothes did last.
Elizabeth says Marshalls and TJ Maxx for this teacher. Yeah, I love them. But it's so funny. Our boss, Aaron, has the most Western New York accent. And
I can already hear where you're going with this.
Why? What do you think?
The Bon-Ton.
The Bon-Ton.
The Bon-Ton. I liked the Bon-Ton.
I gotta go to the Bon-Ton.
I literally just remember my mom. They're giving things away.
It's so funny.
And then they went out of business. But
Kelly says I was a brat too, Ed. IOU boss had to have brand name clothing, everything. I get it. My grandma and the Bon-Ton, we lived there on Saturdays and didn't miss a sale.
Good sale.
My mom worked at Sims, so she used to get the stuff from there. Oh, we had Sims on Long Island too. I loved Gap Kids. So even as like a teenager, I would go to Gap Kids because like the size 14 Husky fit me like a glove.
Please, 14 Husky. It was like a 3T. Husky.
You know what? Others
Husky size never.
Please. Now I'm like a thick daddy. Do you remember the smell of Abercrombie?
Yeah.
If you're of that age.
Fierce.
Yes.
It was fierce, if you will.
It sure was.
That was the name of their cologne. And I swear to God, you'd walk in that store and they'd be like, welcome to Abercrombie.
I wanted to work there so bad. I would have done anything to be hired there.
Does anybody remember Abercrombie around Christmas?
Yes, of course. Shorts and scarves with half-naked guys standing outside. Yes, I remember that.
So when I was in college, they were doing that thing where they'd put the guys outside in like boxers and a Santa hat. And one of my friends from college was like one of these people who had to stand out there. And I'm like, oh my God.
Okay, well, guess what? Abercrombie is coming back to the mall.
I haven't been in Abercrombie.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we had.
Is this that pink skirt story?
We had a knockdown drag out.
Do we want to tell the pink skirt story again?
Go back probably
my favorite.
2 years of Second Cups ago, and we talked about the pink skirt story. I had a pink skirt from Abercrombie. I stand by the fact that it was adorable for a little college girl. My mother disagreed, and I was home from college, and it turns out that she was not interested in me leaving the home in that.
That is so funny.
And I informed her, I do it at college, and it was just not the best day. Hi.
Good
morning.
Oh, like, who's over there? Oh, speaking of our boss.
Hey, were you listening to Second Cup?
Good morning. Thank you so much.
What is one store that closed in Western New York that had great deals that you used to go shop at the mall? Not Kaufman's, but
typical Western New York.
Not Kaufman's. What did it say? Kaufman's. Is it a clothing store?
Yes.
Yep. It was like a department store.
Oh, A&E's.
No.
Well,
Bon-Ton.
yes. The Bon-Ton.
We were making fun of your accent.
We weren't.
I shop at the Bon-Ton. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Aaron.
Melly says, hi, Aaron. Okay, so anyway, Abercrombie is coming back to the mall. It's going in the old Microsoft space.
I would be really interested to step in because, okay, so it hasn't been there since what, 2021?
Right.
I would be really interested to step in an Abercrombie right now and check out their pink skirt.
Okay, so I don't know that. So remember, did you see that Netflix documentary? Okay, so I don't know that Abercrombie is really doing what they used to do.
I don't think
anymore.
they are.
And I think a lot of their stuff has become a lot of like what the Gen Zers are wearing, those baggy clothes. You know what I'm talking about? Like those baggy jeans and those like ill-fitting shirts. No offense, but
I mean, Abercrombie back in the day did have it was like the really preppy, tight.
The moose. If you didn't have a moose, you were out.
I had a really funny moment. The fact that like the sizes there were select, right?
Okay, do you know what Shannon, our other boss?
What?
She's here with us this week. We love her very much. She told us that when she would go into Abercrombie, the size small in Abercrombie was like an extra large. I'm sorry, no. How did she say it? Basically, what she was saying was that something that was small in Abercrombie was big. No, that makes no sense.
Was something big there probably was small.
Small.
So here's the funny moment that I had. And this is years ago, so this is in college. My friend and I were shopping, and we wanted to look at this pair of jeans, and she was like a normal sized person, and the girl was like, and I was picking out a pair of jeans, and so the girl's like, let me get your size. Boom, straight down to like, the floor, because like, I mean, I was probably the biggest size. And then my other friend was like, now would a size for me be in the basement? I was dying. It was so funny. But like, yeah, they were really known. I mean, I don't think I ever owned pants from Abercrombie. They were tight.
I had Hollister jeans for sure. Kelsey says, just got a bundle of clothes from another mom online. I got a ton of 5T stuff with multiple Abercrombie items in there. My 4-year-old is going to look cooler than I ever did. What 5-year-old needs well, do you remember Abercrombie Kids? It always it had the lowercase a instead of the uppercase a.
And can we also say, like, I have seen, like, in these groups I'm in on Facebook, that moms are like, hey, I have a bag of clothes that are small and medium. Can I give these to you? You know what I mean? And so people will, like, go for that. Like, I think that's fantastic. And there's also that, what's it called? The Bella Kids.
Right.
Oh my God. When these consignment stores, like, when I told Ed, like, I've been there for, live shots and stuff. The clothes have tags on them.
I know.
Many of them.
They're never worn. Though, you know what I found out? Say for instance, you get something from Target. This is the greatest kept secret. Listen to me right now. If you have something from Target and it is not worn and it still has the tags on it, it doesn't matter when you bought it. You can bring it back to Target and say, I'd like to return this.
Nice.
And you will get your money back. I've done it. It works.
Do you need a receipt?
No. As long as it still has the tags on it,
okay.
Whatever. I bought a shirt. I had a shirt sitting in my trunk that I was going to put in an old clothes bin. And I'm like, why would I do this? Having found out that Target will do this, I brought it back, $10.
$10, people.
I mean, it is what it is, but like, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
So if your kid hasn't worn something from Target rather, and you got them something and they've outgrown it, bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
And then when you bring it back, it's like you're making money.
Exactly.
It's like free money. Doesn't it feel like that?
Okay, so Stacy says, yeah, it does. So that's the documentary that we were talking about. It was really eye-opening.
Yeah.
The way it all worked.
JC Penney does that. Jason said he used to love Hollister and PacSun.
Oh, I loved Hollister. We had a friend whose nickname was H-Coke because all he would wear is Hollister. Yeah. See,
it was too expensive to wear like all that stuff all the time. Now, Express was really popular when I was younger too.
Mm-hmm.
We used to shop at Express a lot.
Can I ask a question? Why is Express so expensive?
Well, if you shop the deals there, that's when you got to shop their sales.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, you can go buy something full price, but like you get good deals at their sales. I'll say for the ladies, like the jewelry that's there sometimes, like it's costume jewelry. It's nothing,
Right.
But you can get a great deal on that. Yes.
What was my face, Melly? I'll have to go back and watch it when you were talking about Express. I don't know. I have a really bad time hiding my facial expressions. My thoughts are worn on my face.
Oh, Mom. Yes.
American Eagle was
Actually,
permitted.
she's making me remember now that I knew 2 people who wore the Santa hats at Abercrombie. Can you imagine, though? That would have been, I would rather have died if they were like, Katie,
Hey, Katie.
go put on this outfit and stand outside.
Are you kidding me? You would have done it. If you were wearing that pink skirt.
Would have melted into the floor. The pink skirt was one thing. I mean, at least it covered stuff. But like these guys were like, they had no shirt on. Standing
It
in the middle of
was
the mall.
great. And here I am, little closet case Ed, walking through the mall, and I'm like,
I would have been so embarrassed.
I want to go to
never could have
Abercrombie.
done it. Oh my god! Like,
ah, jeez.
I will model the bathrobes. At the street.
How about the flip flops in the middle of winter?
Oh yeah.
Oh God, so funny. Anyway, a trip down memory lane. Should we talk about flights to West Palm Beach?
Oh my god, yes, I do. I want to let people know about this. I've already sent this to like 5 people this morning. JetBlue. So I know we got a lot of snowbirds here, or people who just like to like get away to Florida for a little bit. So in October, late October, JetBlue is starting $49 flights to West Palm Beach.
And this is
nonstop.
seasonal, so keep that in the back of your mind. It starts in October, which is great, but it's gonna be switched on and off basically.
Fine, I don't want to go to Florida in August
No.
personally, but like a nonstop flight to West Palm Beach right now, you can't get them from here. And I know this because like I go down that way a lot. Like you can go to Fort Lauderdale, you can go to Orlando, but you can't go to West Palm Beach. And this I think is going to be really convenient for a lot of people.
Well, and how many of you have family who live in like the Port St. Lucie area or have homes in the Port St. Lucie area?
Yep.
This is so much closer than Orlando or Fort Lauderdale.
It gives you another option to get to
Right.
the East Coast. Like it just does.
This is direct.
Direct.
Yeah, this is nonstop.
Isn't that great? From Buffalo.
Now I think they're running 3 times a week. So just keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, I was kind of looking right now. I didn't like I was looking at like a Wednesday or Thursday, so I got to like keep going through the days to actually find them. You know what I mean?
Shonda says we're driving to the Keys in a couple of weeks. Flights were ridiculous. Julie says, does JetBlue have $49 tickets back to Buffalo? That's a good question.
I don't know. Shannon was saying they're like it's a one-way cost, so I'm not really sure.
Pat wondering what's the catch. Laura and Austin, we're going to Florida in November and didn't have to pay for flights, used our points.
Love that.
That's great. Jason says, I never flew JetBlue, just Southwest.
JetBlue's nice.
Now, I just saw something that something about Southwest changing things up. And where did I see that? Did I see it as a breaking news alert? I just saw something about how Southwest is going to be assigning seats.
I was writing a web story, so I wasn't paying attention. No, really?
Yeah.
For everybody?
I don't know. I just saw the headline and I saw it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But I can't remember if I saw it in my email or if I saw it on that alert.
Let me see if Southwest is getting rid of open seating.
Yeah.
1 hour ago.
Okay. I definitely saw it there.
Shifting to assigned seats for the first time in history. Wow. Customers were clamoring for these changes. I don't disagree with that.
I hate having to find a seat on my own. I would happily pay for a seat.
I don't mind it when I'm flying by myself because if it comes down to it, I'll be the person in the middle if I can sit in like the second row and get off real quick. If it's just me and I'm just going to be like, but like when you're traveling with other people, that's when it's tough.
Yes.
And families and stuff, and you're trying to save a seat or do whatever, it's just a pain. Your
Kathy
husband
says,
cannot get to the gate on time, and you're the one who's in line, and he's in line for some godforsaken smoothie, and you're texting him, and you're calling him, and you're calling him, and you're calling him. I speak from personal experience.
And then someone else rolls up and they have both a sandwich and
I get so frustrated at the airport. It's like the worst place for me if I'm with Paul. He just is the opposite of my
crazy
airport routine.
The opposite of your crazy.
Yeah. Louisanne says she's rather have an assigned seat. It's less of a hassle.
Well, and then how many of you are like when you're flying Southwest anyway will pay just to get the A, right? And then you're like A52.
I've done that before.
I know, we
I
have too.
done that before. And you know what? For $25, I'm like, I'm going to do it.
Barbara says, if I'm not seat 1A, I'm not happy.
I was trying to see if there's a timeline on when they're going to do this, but I don't know that I see that. It says that they're going to be starting. I don't hate it.
So funny. I love it. Anyway, we got to get the show on the road, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow morning for Friday. Have a great day, everyone.